Hi everybody, Graham and Alex from watercooledsup.com.au with a small surf review of the Aztron Mercury, which is 10 foot 10 long by 32 wide. I had an absolute ball riding this board in small surf and also on the flat water. Did a heck of a lot of paddling on it, and it's just a fantastic all-round board. One of the main features that Aztron have in all of their boards, and this one in particular, is of course the dual chambers. What is that? There's two inflation valves side by side in the center of the board, or off to the side of the board. The middle one, of course, is for the center chamber. Half of the board's volume is in that center chamber and the rest, of course, in the outer chamber. Why is that a good idea? It's simply a good idea from a safety perspective. If you were to pierce the outer chamber, that would deflate very quickly, but you could still paddle back to safety on the center chamber. So why would you buy a single chamber board over a dual chamber? Well, you wouldn't if they were the same value. You would simply buy the dual chamber for safety factor alone. Certainly, this new technology, which is now available at incredible price points, makes this very available. It was only once offered in much more expensive boards by some of the very big brands. That technology now is filtered down to where companies like Aztron have incorporated that at incredible price points. So this particular board has that dual chamber technology, as does all of the other Aztron models, and for the value for money, it just can't be beaten. The other great thing about a dual chamber board you don't get in a single chamber board is having the pressure of those two chambers pushing against each other gives the board more rigidity. You can see here as I'm moving back and I've got my foot on the back of the board, as the wave starts to slow down, I'll start to move my weight forward to accelerate the board and stay in the trim of the wave. So I'm trying to trim the wave as it goes along. On a single chamber board, you'll notice if there's a weakness in the board or if there's a lot of flex and wobble in the board. You certainly notice it when you're moving along on a wave. The board will never be under more pressure than what it is when you're surfing it as an inflatable. So you certainly notice in a lesser quality single chamber board the difference between a single and a dual chamber good quality board, because the board, there's just no flex. We've slowed this footage down to about half speed, and you can see as I'm moving my 90 kilos up and down the board, there's virtually no flex or wobble. It's much more reminiscent of a hard board. So that extra rigidity means the board's going to track really nicely in small surf and of course on the flat water. Being 10-10 long by 32 wide, it tracks really nice and it's just a joy to paddle on the flat water. And of course in small surf, if you're at a location where there's a small wave like this and you want to give it a crack, absolutely, it's just so much fun. Start on your knees, and then just as you get used to that jump up, it's just an awesome fun. I love it. I love surfing, and I love surfing inflatables in small waves because it's so easy. 2 paddle strokes and you're on. Even a small wave, you don't need big surf on an inflatable. There's so much buoyancy there. You'll be zooming along before you know it, and it's just so much fun. So rather than just sitting on the beach and watching everyone else, grab yourself a dual chamber Aztron board. Any of the models, this one in particular, is absolutely super value for money, and I paddled a lot. We would do 5-6 k's of paddling in a session like this when we're filming, and it was just so much fun. The other great thing about the Aztron package is, of course, you get a fantastic leash. The leash that I've got on here is around my ankle, but it will go around the top of your knee. And that means that it just lifts the leash a little bit out of your way if you're moving around the board a lot. And it's wide enough that it'll go around your ankle if you're wearing a wetsuit bootie and or a wetsuit in colder conditions. So fantastic leash. A lot of the times when you get a leash with a board as part of the package, it's what I would consider more of a flat water leash. So quality is not all there. This one is a dual swivel coil leash that's wide enough to use as a knee leash as well as an ankle leash. So Aztron have really upped the ante in regard to safety with a dual chamber board and also an excellent leash. Whatever you do, don't ever go out paddling unless you've got a good quality leash attached to you and the board. That's your lifeline. If you fall off the board and there's no leash attached and it's a little windy, the wind can very quickly move an inflatable board away from you. So make sure you're always got a leash on, at the very least in regard to safety equipment. But you're probably on one of the safest boards out there in that it's dual chamber and you've also comes with a great leash. I'm using in this particular video the Power Carbon 70. So each Aztron board comes with a style alloy paddle, but as you progress as a paddler, or if you're going to paddle with 2 people, or you want a better, more comfortable paddle with more flex in it because you're paddling with your kids on the front or what have you, I can highly recommend the Power Carbon 70. It's a ripper paddle. It's a mix of fiberglass and carbon. It's three-piece paddle with a snap pin lock and a snap lock lever system, which locks everything down nice and tight, and it's an absolute joy to use. That is, just something to think about as you progress and grow as a paddler. In terms of the package, it comes with the alloy paddle. It comes with a dual action pump. It comes with a great backpack that you fit all your gear in. The dual action pump means that you're able to pump up to PSI in 2 stages. The first easy stage, using dual action, you switch the pump back to single action to bring it up to 15 PSI. So as a package, it's outstanding value for money with what you get out of the box from the get-go. The board tracks really nicely. It really is a joy to use in the flat water or on the surf. For more information, go to watercoolsup.com.au, and we'll speak to you again soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.